I would like to welcome you all to Runeterra, home of the most powerful and most dangerous beings in basically the universe. This is an example of how powerful they can get. Valoran is Runeterra's most prominent continent in Runeterra. The power and magic work hand in hand for all the city-states within Valoran. There are those who use magic for integrity, peace-giving, world building, but there's also those who use it for wars specifically, and to get more powerful. There are thousands of races, tens of thousands of mysteries, and millions of dangers throughout Valoran. This is a map of Valoran. Here we have just all the city-states or major city-states labeled with this small dot here. And the city-states of Valoran, powerful states such as Noxus and Demacia, are withhold in a hierarchy such as kingship. You have a king, a rightful ruler. There's Piltover and Zwan. They're more of your science-based city-states. They both have like democratic policies. The Shadow Isles is a mysterious wasteland where nightmares and monsters alike exist. Ionia is a peaceful city-state, more of your monks, and kind of just peace-giving people. Yordaland, which really consists of Vandal City, is the home of the Yordle race. Nobody really knows where they came from, but they're there, and that's where they live. Demacia versus Noxus. This is your major fight between anybody in Valoran. Demacia, over here on the left, has the king Jarvan III. This is his son, Prince Jarvan IV, who you could quote-unquote play as in the Summoner's Rift. On the right, we have the king Swain, and here you can see the examples of Demacia and Noxus over there. You can see their differences. Noxus is a dark, foreboding land, and Demacia is almost like Florence, for example, Florence, Italy. Then we have Zwan and Piltover, your sciences. On the right here, we have, on the left I should say, we have Zwan, which is more of your free science. Anything's legal in Zwan, basically, as long as it's for science. And then on the right, we have Piltover. Piltover is basically your New York City of science. Everything is prosperous and very peace-going. Up here we have Dr. Mundo. Dr. Mundo is a scientist who actually manipulated his own body to become more powerful. And as you can see, his skin's purple. He wasn't actually a human. His skin's purple, he's giant, and likes to cut people up with his giant meat cleaver. On the left over there, we have Vi. Vi was an outcast in Piltover. She actually caused a lot of trouble as a kid, but was picked up by her friend Caitlin, who was actually the sheriff of Piltover, and she became the law enforcement of Piltover. Ionia and the Shadow Isles. Ionia here on the right is your peaceful city-state, and up at the top there you have Lee Sin. Lee Sin was a monk of Ionia who actually burned himself alive in protest of Demacia and Noxus fighting. And because that he burned himself alive, he actually lost his sight, so he is a blind monk. In surviving that, he became more and more powerful. Over here on the right, we have the Shadow Isles, basically hell. Up there we have the Chain Warden Thresh, and what he does is he collects souls of the damned. Last but not least, Vandal City. Vandal City is actually home of Yordles. Yordles is a small race of animal-esque type creatures. These creatures have great smarts and anything that any other creature would have in Valoran. Up here we have Captain Timo, who's actually a leader of a very, very powerful task force for their army. Captain Timo is actually one of the most dangerous people in Vandal City. And because of that, he is a captain for their army. There's plenty of history behind the land Valorant, and both plenty of history behind Valorant and mysterious and fascinating, that are mysterious and fascinating. In the land of magic and powers such as this one, there's no telling what you might miss. Right here, we just have a larger map of Valorant.